everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make an off-shoulder scrunched top for your stuffed animal. The measurements I used will fit a Build-A-Bear or any similarly sized stuffed animal. Now let's get started! So the materials you'll need for this shirt are pins, scissors, some fabric, and some elastics. I actually used 4 and mine were really thick, so I just cut them in half. And at this point, I'd usually get my patterns out and cut out my pieces, but mine are actually already cut out since they're very simple rectangles. And here are the measurements I used for a Build-A-Bear. The number of elastics you'll need is actually dependent on how tall your top is. I just cut my elastics into about 1/2-inch strips. And after laying them out with a little bit of space in between them, I found that 4 would be perfect for me. Now I'm just flipping over my big rectangle piece that's going to be the top, and I'm just going to fold the edge down like this. And in order to make this easier for myself, I'm just going to lay my elastic right on top of this. And this is so I can hem the top edge while also adding the first elastic to scrunch the fabric. I'm just going to pin this one end down because as we're sewing, I'm going to stretch the elastic, so pinning the rest down doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to take you to my sewing machine to show you what to do next. So to give the fabric this scrunched effect, I'm going to have my sewing machine set to a zigzag stitch, and I'm going to sew back and forth a little bit to lock the stitch, and then I'm going to lightly pull on the elastic as it goes through the machine. The length of the elastic is a lot shorter than the length of the fabric, so as you're pulling the elastic, the fabric will get all scrunched up, and you want that end of the elastic to eventually line up with the end of the fabric. I'm at that point right now, so I'm going to move on to the next elastic and just put it back at the top. Now I'm going to repeat what I did on the first one to the second one and just do a zigzag stitch while stretching the elastic all the way down. I think you get the idea by now, so I'm not going to show the third one I do, but I did add a third one, and now I'm moving on to the fourth one. So I'm just going to fold over that bottom edge like we did to the first one, and that's so that the bottom of our shirt now has a clean edge. I'm just going to finish sewing this all the way down. Now that the elastics have scrunched up the entire fabric, I'm just going to fold this in half good side to good side, and then I'm going to pin this side down and do a straight stitch right along here to close it up. Because of the elastics, this top should be able to fit lots of different size stuffed animals. After sewing that straight stitch, I'm going to trim off the extra, and I made sure to try this on my stuffed animal first to make sure it's tight enough. Now we can move on to our straps. So here I have another elastic and another piece of fabric. This one's long and thin, and now I'm just going to fold in one side just to the middle, and then I'm going to do that to the other side. And now I'm going to lay my elastic right in the middle, and this is so that when I'm doing the zigzag stitch like I did before, lightly pulling on the elastic, both sides of the strap will be clean. And I'm going to do that to the other one as well. Now we can sew the straps onto the top, but in order to make sure they're in the right spot, I always like to put the top on my stuffed animal first. Now that I know where her arms are, I can just pin the straps right where I want them so that I know that in the end everything's in the right spot and looks good. For this top, I wanted to go with the off-shoulder strap look, so when pinning the straps, I wanted to make sure there's a little extra so that it can kind of go down her arm a little. Of course, you can sew on the straps however you want, but I like this way because you can always move them up and tuck them in the back if you just want normal straps, or you can pull them down a little to make them off-shoulder. So now I'm just going in with a needle and thread and hand sewing those on. And after that, you are done! Now I'm just going to try this on my stuffed animal, and you can pair this with whatever bottoms you like. This was a super bright, summery top, but starting next week, I'll be posting more fall-inspired outfits, so watch out for those. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.